Hello students, welcome back to my channel. In today's session, we will be learning another algorithm, and today's algorithm is going to be multiplication of two matrices. So matrix multiplication is a very common algorithm which we come across in PUC, degree, even in the PG level. But many students find it very difficult and very complicated. So let us go ahead and see what is the logic behind this matrix multiplication. So before we move on to the logic, first let us see what is a problem statement. The problem statement states that if A is a matrix of dimension m cross n and B is a matrix of dimension n into P, we need to find the product, that is A cross B, of dimensions m into P. Okay, so before we understand this statement, there are certain rules which need to be followed whenever we are performing a multiplication of matrices. Suppose A is a matrix as it is mentioned here in the problem statement of dimension m into n. This means it has m number of rows and n number of columns. Okay, so I hope you all know that matrices are usually represented in this way. For example, so this is a 2 cross 2 matrix, which means I have 2 rows as well as 2 columns. That is what is the meaning of that. So m cross n represents a generalization of a matrix where m is a number of row and n is a number of column. Similarly, I'll have another matrix because we are doing a multiplication of 2 matrix, which is of n cross p dimension, which means I have n number of rows and p number of columns. Okay, so as you can see here, the n value here and n value here is same, which means every time, the rule number 1 is every time you want to perform a multiplication, your column of a first matrix should be equal to the row value of the second matrix. Only then your matrices are compatible for multiplication. If I have to give an example, if at all I'm considering a 2 cross 2 matrix, I have to multiply with another 2 cross 2 matrix. If you see that the row and the column value, it is matching, hence this is compatible. I can perform the matrix multiplication. So 2 cross 2 is a square matrix, as you know, 2 cross 2, 3 cross 3, 4 cross 4, these are all called as a square matrix. Suppose I have 2 into 3, that is 2 rows and 3 columns, and I have a 3 into 4 matrix. Can I perform the multiplication? All I need to see is this matching? If it is, yes. Okay, so this is the first rule where you should always check whenever you are multiplying 2 matrices, the column value of the first matrix should be equal to the row value of the second matrix, and when you perform the multiplication, the resultant matrix will have the value of this. That is, it will have a 2 cross 2 matrix. The resultant matrix will be 2 cross 2. In this case, the resultant matrix is going to be 2 cross 4, which means it is going to have 2 rows and 4 columns. So this is what is the meaning of this. Okay, so that is the main things which we need to know before we go on with the matrix multiplication. I hope this is clear. Now, let us go ahead and see the formula for multiplication. Once I know that what is the basic requirement for multiplication, how do I perform? So here, if you see that this is a 2 cross 2 matrix as well as this is a 2 cross 2 matrix, which means I can perform the multiplication, and my resultant matrix is also going to be 2 cross 2 as the value here is 2 and 2. So if you see here, always remember the multiplication goes in this way, that is row value into the column value. So as you can see, first A I will multiply with I. So A into I plus B into K. All right, that will form the first value of my resultant matrix. What about the second value? Second value is also going to be the first row into the second column. That is A into J plus B into L. So this is my second element. So second element, when I can say this is the first row, first column, and this is the first row, second column element. Similarly, this is going to be the, how do I calculate the second row, first column element? For that, I will take the second row element multiplied with the first column. So C into I plus D into K. This will give me the 2 into 1th element, and second row, second column element. How do I calculate? I will calculate with the second row values multiplied with the second column value. So C into J plus D into L, as you can see the formula. So you can write it down. Similarly, if at all I had another column here, for example, M and N, if at all I had, I would have multiplied this as well. Okay, I would have multiplied this as well and I would have got a next value. So we will see one example so that time you will understand. But this is how it goes. How much ever number of values you have in your row or in a column, this is how the rule goes, that you will take the first row and multiply with all the columns. You will get the first element. You will take the first row, multiply, second row, multiply with the next all the columns. You will get the next elements. All right. So let us go ahead and see the algorithm. So how do I create an algorithm for this? Okay. Now, as you can see that, let me just briefly explain here itself. I need a loop. I need a loop first in order to go from one element to the another element in a row value. Okay. So I need a first loop for that. Second loop, I need to go from one column to another column. Okay, because I'm going to keep the value same, but my column value is going to change. All right, so I need a second loop for that. Third loop I need is where I'm going to add the first column first row value plus second column second row value. Okay, that is done. After that, in order to move to the next position also, I need a loop here. So I need a loop for row value, I need a loop for the column value, and then I need a loop for result in order to move from one row to another column. Okay, so always remember the matrix multiplication works with 3 for loops, right? So let us quickly see how it works. I will take a small example. Let me just take a example of 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. This is my first matrix, matrix A. And also let me take a matrix B. Let me take it as a 3 cross 2 matrix. So this is 3 rows it is going to have and 2 columns. So 1, 2, 0, 5. And the last row is going to be 3 and minus 4. We can have any values, negative value, positive value, 0 value. So this is not minus 3. This is 3 only. Let me just correct it. Okay, this is 3 and this is our matrix B. So as you can see, this is a 2 row 3 column matrix and this is a 3 row 2 column matrix. As you can see, this and this value, that is the column value of the first matrix and the row value of the second matrix is matching. Hence, it is compatible for multiplication. And as we can see, the resultant matrix should have a 2 cross 2 value. It should be a square matrix. So let us go ahead and see. First declare 3 matrices A, B and C. So C is nothing but it is going to be our resultant matrix is C. And declare the variables Mn, Pq, Ij and K. Okay, so Mn, Pq is going to be the column and row values of matrix A and matrix B. I and J, K are going to be the counters or variables which we are going to be using in our 3 loops. All right. Read the row and column values M and N of matrix A. Read the row and column values of matrix B, which means we are going to take a user input for A as well as B. So once we have read everything, now we will start with the multiplication. If N is not equal to P, that is, if these two values are not matching, then it is not compatible, then multiplication cannot happen. This we need to check in the initial stage itself. Because if it is not matching, then we are not going to go ahead and perform the multiplication. Next, we will read the elements of matrix A and B. After that, now here, this is the core code for performing the multiplication. Let us go ahead and see. For I is equal to 0 to m minus 1, here we are starting the indicator or the array value from 0. Remember in C, we always start the array value from 0. That is the reason m minus 1 because we are starting from 0. So if at all I have the value, this is the n and m value I have 3 and n value I have 2. Sorry, m value I have 2, n value I have 3, p value I have P value I have 3 and Q value I have 2 here. Okay, so remember this. So I'm starting a for loop from I is equal to 0 to m minus 1. M minus 1 is nothing but 1. I will only be iterating from 0 and 1. Obviously, reasons only twice I'm going to iterate because I have only 2 rows here. Okay, similarly, j is equals to 0 to q minus 1. So j is going to start from 0 to I have q minus 1. Q my value I have is 2, which is 1. Once again, I'm going to iterate 0 to 1, which is twice. Obvious reason because again I have only 2 columns. Okay, so initially I am going to say that C of I comma j is equal to 0. So let us start. Initially I is equals to 0. So we have entered the for loop here. After that we are entering the, inside that we are entering another for loop. Here also I have initialized j is equal to 0. And first C of I comma j, which is nothing but C of 0 comma 0 is 0, which means I am initializing the 0th row 0th element of my resultant matrix as 0. All right. Next, after that, I'm starting another loop which I'm starting from k is equal to 0 to p minus 1, which is going to go k is equal to 0 to p is nothing but 3, hence 2. Twice I'm going to go. So 0, 1, 2. 3 times I'm going to go because I have 3 number of rows here. All right. So initially again k is also 0 here. So once I'm entering this for loop until it becomes false, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say C of 0 comma 0 is equals to C of 0 comma 0 plus A of, now see here carefully, I value I have 0. Then I have K value also I have 0 into B of K value is 0 and J value is also as of now 0. I want all of you to write it down as well in your book. Okay, so let us see what is the value. C of 0 comma 0, which is over here, is equals to C of 0 comma 0. As of now the value is 0. What is A of 0 comma 0? A of 0 comma 0 is here. So A of 0 comma 0 is 3 into B of 0 comma 0. B of 0 comma 0 is 1. Right? So this is nothing but we are going to get the value 3. So as of now, in the place of 0, I am going to replace it with 3. This is the new value I'm getting. After that, what? So once I completed this, I will go back to the for loop, increment the value of k. Now k is going to become 1. And now see carefully what is going to happen. Once again, we are going to perform this calculation. So it is going to be C of I comma j value we have not changed. It is still going to remain same, which means I'm still calculating this value. C of 0 comma 0 is equals to C of 0 comma 0. Okay, now I am directly going to write the value instead of writing this expansion. I hope you have understood. So C of 0 comma 0 is equals to C of 0 comma 0 itself, which is 3 in this case, plus A of I comma k. Now what is A of I comma k? I is 0, but the k value, as you remember, we have changed it to 1 into B of k comma j. K value is 1 and j value is still 0. Okay, let us see what is going to happen. C plus A of 0 comma 1. What is the meaning of that? 0th row and first value. Okay, 0th row first value, which is nothing but 1 into B of 1 comma 0, which means first row 0th element, which is 0. Hence, this is going to be 3 itself. Okay, so if you observe here, what exactly we are doing is we are moving in this way. This is what we are doing here. I'm going to multiply 3 with 1 plus 1 into 0 plus 3 into 3. 2 into 3. That is going to give me, when I add all that, I'm going to get the value of 0 comma 0. So we have done 3 into 1, which is 3 into 1 is 3 plus 1 into 0 is 0. That is what we did here. Okay, so 3 we got. And after that we got 0. So 0 plus 3 again we got 3 here. Plus next one we are going to do. So let us see how it goes. So here if you see once again, so what is going to happen? Once we've completed calculation, I'm going to go back to the for loop and I'm going to increment the value to 2 here. So C of 0 comma 0 is equals to the value of C of 0 comma 0, which is 3 plus A of 0, comma, what is the value of k? K value is now going to become 2 into B of 2, comma 0. All right. Now quickly let us see the values. 3 plus A of 0, comma 2. 0 through second column. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. Second column is the value 2 into B of 2, comma 0, which means second row. This is 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and this is 0, 1. So second row, first column is nothing but 3, which is nothing but we are going to get 9 here. Okay, so that's what we did. 3 2s are 6 here, 6 plus all this 9. That is what we got here. And here we are going to change the value to 9. Okay, so this is how we got the very first element. What next? Now next, once again after the calculation, we are going to come here and change the value of k to 3. But then as you can see, the for loop fails as we need to only iterate up till 2. Hence this loop becomes false. Once this loop becomes false, where we need to go? We need to go to the next inner loop, which is nothing but j. Which means now the j value is going to get incremented to 1. So as soon as the j value becomes incremented to 1, once again we will get inside this, we will initialize c of I value is still 0, j is 1, and I'm going to initialize it to 0, which means 0th row, first column. 0th row, first column is nothing but this one. So which means now we are going to calculate this value. All right, I hope you people are following it up. So let me quickly rub all this and start the new calculation. Okay, so now we are going to iterate the same calculations once again. Now our k value is also going to get changed, and then now I said c of I comma j, which is a c of 0 comma 1 is now 0. And then now k value is going to start from 0. All right. And again, I'm going to change the value of c of 0 comma 1 is equals to c of 0 comma 1, which is 0. And then a of I comma k. What is the value of I is still 0. What is the value of k? It is still 0 into b of k value is still 0, but the j value is now 1. Okay, let us quickly see the values. 0 comma 0, which means now what we are trying to do here now is now we are trying to multiply this same row, which is the first row, multiplied to the second column. That will give us the second element. All right, so that is what we are doing. So 0 plus a of 0 comma 0 is 3 into b of 0 comma 1, which is nothing but 2, which will give us 6. Hence the value of this is going to get changed to 6. Okay, once again, I will increment the value of k. So c of 0 comma 1. Remember, I need to multiply. How does this work? This I'm going to, let me just quickly show you. So here it is going to be 3 into 1 plus 1 into, 3 into 2 plus 1 into 5 plus 2 into minus 4, which is going to give me 3 into 6 plus 5 plus minus 8, which is nothing but 3. All right, so we are going to get the value 3 over here. So let us just see. C of 0 comma 1 is equals to, right now I have 6 here. A of 0 comma 0, I and k value, not A of I value is 0, k value is 1 plus B of 1 comma 1. Let's see the value. 6 plus a of 0 comma 1 is 1 plus b of 1 comma 1 is 5. This is multiplication. So 5 into 1 plus 6 is going to give us 11. So this is 11. Again, once again, we will increment the value of k to 2. So c of 0 comma 1 is equals to 6 plus a of 0 comma 2 plus b of, this is not plus, sorry, this is multiplication. B of, we have 2 comma 1, which is once again nothing but 6 plus Now this is not 6. We have changed the value. This is now 11. Okay, we have changed the value over here. Remember 11. So 11 plus a of 0 comma 2 is nothing but 2 multiplied with b of 2 comma 1, which is minus 4. Okay, this is going to give us 11 minus 8 is nothing but 3. Hence, the final value of this particular matrix value is going to be 3. Okay. Now, as usual, k value is going to get increased to 3 and hence the for loop fails and we will come back to the outer j loop. And I come to the j loop, j is now 1, I will increment it to 2, but then we are only supposed to increment it for 0 to 1, hence this also becomes false. We will come to the outer loop, which is I loop. Okay, and hence I will get incremented. I value was 0. Now it is going to get incremented to 1. And hence we are going to start all this once again. All the loop we are going to start once again for I is equals to 1. Okay, so now I'll briefly explain how it is going to work. So now when I becomes 1, once again we will go ahead and become j is equals to 0. And once again, so which means now we are talking about this particular two values, this and this. All right. So C of 1 comma 0, that is what I'm talking about. 1 comma 0 we will get in, and then we will look for k is equal to 0 to p minus 1. Similarly, you can just iterate. So here what exactly we are doing is, first I'm going to calculate the value of, first I will calculate let me just quickly show it. For people who will not follow it, I think it is better I explain all of the values. I will calculate and show it to you. One more row, we will just do it. Whoever understood this concept, kindly do it yourself. Okay, and whoever is not following it, just look at the way I'm going to do it. So here now, as you know that I value, I value is now 1, j value is 0, and k value is once again starting from 0. We have c of 1 comma 0 is equal to 0, which means initially this value is 0. Once again, I'm going to calculate c of I value, as we know that it is 1, j value is 0, which means now I'm calculating c of 1 comma 0, first row, 0th column, it is equal to c of 1 comma 0 plus, just use this formula and just see the I value and j value. I value is 1, k value is 0 into b of 0 comma j value is also 0, which means what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to multiply this with the first column. Okay, so c of 1 comma 0 is 0, we initialize it to 0. A of 1 comma 0, first row 0th column is 1 into a b of 0 comma 0, which means now I'm multiplying it with the first value, which is nothing but 1. Okay, so I'm going to replace this value from 0 to, it is going to be replaced to 1. Okay, next once again increment the k value to 1, and now we will see c of 1 comma 0. Once again we are calculating, we already know that the value is 1 plus a of I value is 1, k value is also now 1, a of 1 comma 1 into, it is going to be b of 1 comma j value is 0, so this is going to be 0. Okay, so 1 plus a of 1 comma 1, a of 1 comma 1 is nothing but this value, 2 into b of 1 comma 0, b of 1 comma 0 is nothing but 0, hence this is going to be 1 again. Next we will increment the value of k to 2, and then c of 1 comma 0 is equals to, the c of 1 comma 0 is still 1, a of 1 comma k value is 2 into b of 2 into j value is 0. Okay, so let us see, apply the values. A of 1 comma 2, a of 1 comma 2 is nothing but 1 into b of 2 comma 0. 2 comma 0 is nothing but 3 here, which is going to be 1 plus 3, which is 4. Hence, we are going to get the value, final value as 4. We will increment the k value to 3, and then loop is going to become false. We will get back to the inner loop, which is j, and j value is going to get incremented to 1. All right. And once again, we have to do the calculations. So let us do it. Let me try to do the changes here itself. Now, j value is incremented to 1. So now we are going to calculate the value of C of 1 comma 1. C of 1 comma 1 is nothing but the first row, first column. That is the last element of our resultant matrix. Let us just quickly calculate. C of 1 comma 1 is going to be, so as you know that we have to initialize it initially to 0. C of 1 comma 1 is equals to C of 1 comma 1, which is nothing but 0, plus A of I value is, I value we have 1, J value we have 1, A of 1 comma 1 into B of, we have K value. Yeah, once again, K value we have to initialize it to 0. So which means A of I comma this is 0 and B of 0 comma J value is 1. Okay, let us see 0 plus A of 1 comma 0. So 1 comma 0 is nothing but 1 into B of 0 comma 1. B of 0 comma 1. 0 through first column, which is nothing but 2. All right. So this is nothing but we are going to get the value 2 here. Next, we will calculate C of 1 comma 1 and we will increment the K value to 1. And then we will see we have the value 2 here into A of, we have I value 1 and we have K value 1 into B of K value we have 1 and J value also we have 1. So this is nothing but 2 plus A of 1 comma 1. A of 1 comma 1 is nothing but 2 into B of 1 comma 1 is nothing but 5. This is nothing but 12. So we have a new value 12 xc of 1 comma 1. So this is going to, we will change it later. Okay, and the last value, the last row and column multiplication, C of 1 comma 1 is equals to 12 plus A of 1 comma, of course we have incremented K value to 2 into B of 2 into 1. Okay, this is nothing but 12 plus A of 1 comma 2. A of 1 comma 2 is nothing but 1 into B of 2 comma 1 is nothing but minus 4. Okay, so this is going to give us value 2 plus minus 4, which is nothing but 8. The final value is going to be 8. So this is our resultant matrix. We will increment the K value to 3, which will fail the for loop. We will go back to the J value, increment the J value to 2, which is again becomes false here. We will come back to the outer loop. Outer loop, we had I value as 1. We will increment it to 2, which also fails as we need to iterate only to 2, which means we will exit from this loop and we will print the resultant matrix. And this is going to be our resultant matrix. All right. I hope this is clear, students. It's a very simple logic, but this is a particular algorithm which is asked in many places. So I hope this is clear. So that's all in today's session. Thank you for watching. Keep learning.